Hello again, everyone. So recently I have gone down a new rabbit hole, and that rabbit hole is the Tim Holtz rabbit hole. I know plenty of people have gotten sucked into the Tim Holtz rabbit hole, but I'd seen his products, off and on over the years, and I thought they were cool, but I didn't really know what to do with them. And then I had a recent class, well, it was actually part of fodder school, where we used some of his products or, like a similar style and that sort of thing. And then I kind of got into that a little bit more because of that. And then, well, this might have been happening kind of contemporaneously. There was a die set that came out that just seemed super, super useful. And the die set is what I made this book out of, all the different elements. And it is called the Specimen Set. And here is the die set. I actually have the plastic container there, but it has these little mini file folders. It has these little specimen slide type things. And these were actually the ones we used in fodder school. And I think when I saw the materials list for that, I searched and found this. So this led me down the rabbit hole. I have since gotten a lot of different Tim Holtz products that I wouldn't have otherwise. Oh, and I actually have some distress stain on my hand right now from working with this book. So this is the only die set that I used when making this little project. There are some things that I use outside of this set, obviously. But for the most part, it included elements that were included in this set. Oh, actually, that's not true. I also used his, what is it called? It's like there's a die set and stamp set with all little bugs in it. And that was actually another die set that I used. So those two. But yeah, I'm kind of on the distressing bandwagon at this point in time. So I'll just show you the front and back first. So, and I'll tell you the basic concept. So essentially this is a whole bunch of those file folders cut out with the die cut and then made into a little book. So how I made the book is I stitched each of the file folders together, and then where each one was stitched together, it created a little pocket. So I put stuff in those pockets. And then I didn't really need a binding on the spine because they are all sewn together. But they're not all sewn together like right here. So I did put these little strips of ribbon here. And, part of that is to keep the shape there and make sure the pages don't fall apart, but it's also decorative. And I have this ribbon that I've actually used a lot for a variety of projects that I really like because it has a very nice vintagey color to it. And it seems to go with a lot of things. I think I got this like maybe a year or two ago at Terrain in like a Christmas sale. So they had a whole bunch of, after Christmas sale, I should say, they had a bunch of ribbon and things on sale. And these velvet ribbons were in there, and I love it. And I used an old button as a closure. So I'm not super matchy here, but it's all sort of in a vintagey colorway. And then this is Cotton Frizz, which I was also introduced to in that fodder school class. And Cotton Frizz is really fun. It's basically like ribbon with little frizz on it. And then these are some of the faux stamps that I've made. And these are actually, I've been continually making faux stamps because they're so cute. These I actually distressed that are in here. Here's another one that is not distressed, so you can kind of see how it started out. But these have been really, really fun because they're fairly quick to make, and you can use so many little scraps with them. Like this background here was a scrap cyanotype. And then this was a piece of scrap collage paper. And then I put some rub-on transfers on this one. But yeah, so a variety of things. And then this little guy, this is from that Tim Holtz bug die and stamp set. If I can remember the name of it, I'll put it below. And then I hand colored these with the distress watercolor pencils that I got. I tried not to make them too vibrant because I kind of want them to blend in into this vintagey theme here. But yeah, so those are fun. And then on the back here, I have another little faux stamp that I distressed. And then these are little rub-ons from Tim Holtz's, oh, what are his little rub-on transfers called? I've forgotten. But anyway, they're from Tim Holtz. So let's go ahead and get in here. And I kind of went a little crazy with this. I mean, you can see it's pretty bulky, so there's a lot in here. But basically, I tried to make every page sort of like a little discovery. So let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this a little better. So here's some more of those bug die cuts. Here's another faux postage stamp. This guy was just one of the excess little pieces, also in this die set. Yeah, so I think this is either the small one or this medium one, because I used this for little pockets and things in here, and then I cut out, you'll see why, I cut out a little window for some of these, and this is the excess paper, so I created a little pocket with that. And then I created these tiny little tags with little labels on them. And I have to say, I had never understood the tag concept, but clearly, clearly I'm getting on the tag bandwagon too. But yeah, so many little things in here, and a lot of these are Tim Holtz products. I was gonna say something. Oh, so yeah, I wanted to tell you about these little guys. So these little guys are not actually available for sale. These are, so I got some Halloween sets from Tim Holtz that had, you know, basically like a label like this, but it's much bigger. So on the back of that package, it has a little mini picture of each of the things that you're getting in that set. So I fussy cut out each of those little things. And so then I had like a mini, well, let me see if you can get that in focus. So then I had a mini version of that thing. So that's what I put on these. I actually, I've done this before with certain packaging where it has collage material. If the collage material on the back is usable because it's like a little miniature version to show you what's in there, use it. Okay. So then here I've made a little slide with some plastic here, and then I put another one of the little die cut bugs in there. Here's some faux postage. I have another piece of faux postage. I made this into a little pocket. So there's that. And then over here I made a pocket with one of the inside pieces of one of those cuts again. And then I put a little bug on one of these little cards here. Has something on the back. And then the pockets are where things get really interesting. So I have a little specimen slide here with another bug, just plain on the back, and then like that. And then it's kind of like that. It's very similar in the rest of the book. So these are made with those little specimen slide things, and then the ones over here are made out of just like little cards. But this actually does have a specimen slide attached on it as well. I kind of wrapped it around this piece here, put some little bits in here. Here's a little faux postage attached to something else in here with something on the back. I tried to make pockets wherever I could. This kind of appeals to my wanting to put things into things, like for organization. This is like super ultra version of that. And then these little specimen labels, recorded, those are all in this set as well. Okay, again, and I'm not going to point out things that are the same on the different pages, but we've got a little two-sided card here. And then here's another little specimen slide. And then in here, I have that. And then there's a little thing on the back. And then I have another little piece here, which I thought was kind of cute. And yeah, this one did not fit in the slide, so I just kind of put it over with a different background. And as you can see, I stitched the bits of the folder together here. And here we have another little field notes thing. This is actually another little card that I cut out of the back of packaging. So this was for some larger rub-on transfers, and I just cut out this little square with all these little animals in it, and it works really super well as a little card to put in here. And then in here I have a little bit more of a more complicated one. So here again we have a big bug here, and then I have tiny little tags in here. And again, these are utilizing a lot of the backs of the packaging because those are smaller than the actual contents. And all of this is just embroidery thread that I used as the little handles of the tags. Okay, so there's a lot in here. This is the last page on the inside. So there's a lot of things going on here. So I have this pocket here, and then I have this little slide here. This is actually a picture that I took in Iceland, and I put that in there. And then I have some little itty bitty tags again. Little itty bitty tags, little itty bitty tags. Actually, I think the little itty bitty tags are in a different die set that I got. It's not actually in here. For some reason I thought it was, but it's in a different one. And then I try to keep the back a little bit more plain, and then that goes in there. And then here's the last little slide, which is another little specimen. But I have always been kind of fascinated with kind of like macabre things, like, you know, little eyeballs and science-y stuff and, you know, bugs and all that kind of stuff. So this really appeals to that part of me. And I did also get a lot of the things that I used in here during, I got some Tim Holtz Halloween stuff. So I kind of am discovering him at the right time of year because that stuff's not available all year round. So I got a lot of that because that appeals to me actually more than the standard stuff that he does. So really, really liked that. And that's pretty much it. That's it for this little cutie. And this I just sewed on by hand with embroidery thread. You can kind of see the back of where I stitched that here. And then here I covered up the stitching with the postage stamp, the faux postage. And then I sewed the button on with embroidery thread as well. And like in the back, I put a little faux stamp over where I had embroidered it. And then I have this little closure, which I just wrap around twice, and then it holds it closed. But I just thought I would show that to you. This is not made as part of a class or anything. This is just something kind of in the interim between class lessons, or, you know, I truthfully have so many lessons, art stuff online, like courses that I purchased that I could go back to, but I kind of wanted a little bit of a break and to do something a little different that was kind of self-guided, and that's what this was. I did get inspiration looking at some of the Tim Holtz makers online who had made some things with this new specimen die set. So although I have to say that as soon as I saw these folders, I was like, oh, you can make a really cool book out of that. And then I realized that other people actually had made books out of it. So I kind of took some tips from them on how to actually make the book. And this is just super awesome. My only concern is that because I didn't know which would be the front and the back, I kind of folded these one way and then folded them the other way. So the spine of the little folders, some of them are a little bit weakened. You can kind of see, actually you can see more on this one where it's kind of splitting a little bit. So that's not great, but I would probably, I could either reinforce that with some washi tape or something, or just the next time make sure I'm not folding these back and forth. So basically I would fold it the other way, because this is actually a blank inside, because this was craft paper that was already printed with a design on the outside, and then the inside was just blank, so I put collage material over that. And these two pages are the only ones that you see in here that were blank, and then the others I turned inside out so that you could have the craft paper with the pattern on it on the book side, basically. And then I did do some collaging on the part that you saw that was blank on this side, so that it wouldn't just be blank. You'd have something there. So, all right. But yeah, this was a great project to I could work on little things here and there. So basically, you know, I'd be in a work meeting or something, or work training, and then I would, you know, I'd distress things while I was in that training. But it's a really nice thing that you could just pick up and put down, because it didn't really require a bunch of sequential stuff. And then, you know, I'd go through and add different layers each time I went through. This was a lot more bare when I first made it. Basically, you know, at first it was just the folders, and then I started adding little things inside the pockets, and then I started adding things on the pages. So it was a thing that developed over time. All right. Well, that's all I had for you today. Feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Let me know if you're interested in seeing more crafty things like this. I never know, because my interests are so broad, and I kind of go all over the place with arts and craftsy things. So let me know if you're interested in this sort of thing. I mean, this is obviously, it's not like a novelty, but you know, I mean, this was mostly for fun, although it's kind of cool to look at. But this is not something, I don't think it would be archival, for example. Like, all of the stuff that I used is probably not all archival. I don't know about craft cardstock, whether that's archival, but I'm pretty sure the distress inks from Tim Holtz, for example, I don't know if they're archival. They might not be. But for things like this, it's fine, because, you know, it'll age over time and probably look more aged or whatever. All right. Well, just let me know if you want to see more stuff like this, if I do more stuff like this. All right. Well, I hope to see you next time. But in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.